Welcome to Look Around Florida, and Sean will be with you next.
Hey guys, welcome to Look Around Florida. I got our division commander and our division adjutant in the background right now. So let me get a couple things out so me or him don't get in trouble. So looking forward to hearing his update, especially with the reunion coming up here in about 2 weeks, guys. If you're going, get your stuff in now. As far as registration. Hey, Kim, good to see you, brother. So, division reunions in 2 weeks. Get your stuff in. If you're going to national, get your stuff in. Especially if you're going to national, you're going to participate in the put your ancestor in the memorial book. That deadline is within a week. If you want to get your stuff in the national pamphlet about your ancestor, that has to be in within about a week. But they're still taking registration. So we're going to get Calvin and Rick on right now. Looking forward to some updates. Hey guys, how y'all doing tonight?
Good evening.
Good. Hey.
Hey Kim, hey Delyn, hey Keith. Good to see you guys and girls.
Hey Keith, how you doing there? Glad to see you. Kim, good deal.
Leon Arthur is watching also. So we got right now a total of 8 people watching it.
There you go. Jeffro.
Yep. Hey, Jethro.
All right. Thanks to Lynn. Tell Leon I said hi. I'll call him later.
Leon watched on YouTube.
Yep.
Lee Norris is present. Very good. Hey, Lee.
Come on, guys. Calvin got some good news coming. Poke your camp members. I always said corporation members.
TJ.
Hey, TJ.
Hey, TJ. How's it going, buddy? TJ says, looking good. You might want to adjust your set, TJ.
Must be blurry.
So they're starting to come in slowly.
Just give them a minute or two.
Yeah, I don't know, Jeffrey. I don't know what's going on with pork chop. Alrighty. I just put that on the division page.
What's that?
That one live. Same with national. That could have been me. Hey, Victor.
There's Victor.
Thanks, Delyn.
Pork chop is in the house.
So, guys, keep poking your camp members. Get them on. Calvin, get some good news for us.
You got good news?
I got news.
Yes, Kim. Do not adjust your set. We are live.
We're broadcasting from the bunker in Middleburg.
Secret location.
I can hear the cattle rumble over the top of the bunker now.
Yep.
There are a few around.
Yeah, we're up to 10 people watching it right now.
We can start anytime you want to, old buddy. You want to give us a little bit of time, or
go for it. I even got Kelly. Kelly hasn't said anything, but he is watching it.
good deal. Good deal.
So I will say, just like a good person we all know, let it ride.
All right, we're good. Okay,
Yep.
we're going to go ahead and start. We're going to talk about a few things. Unless you have something you need to talk about, Sean, before we start. Anything? Don't you have to do the caveat at the end?
disclaimer thing?
Disclaimer in case.
I'm already running that. So.
Are you? Oh, that's
Oh, there's on the bottom.
Oh,
Yeah.
you have to read the fine print.
Yeah,
Okay.
that way Jimmy Hill or Jason don't call you and you end up calling me.
Yeah, we're good with that. All right, we'll go ahead and we'll let it rip here.
Yep.
So a couple things we wanted to do Sean's podcast before the state reunion for those who wanted to get a little bit of information. We look forward to this reunion. Put a little work into it, so we're counting on a successful reunion. This reunion is a little different from the past. The past reunions, I think I'm not sure what the cost was, years ago, how it went up and down. I know the last reunion there held in Trenton, because Trenton is part ownership is the Florida division owns partnership in that location, that if we need to get use out of it if we own it. It's my thoughts on that. But $40 is what it cost last year. I just want to say that we reduced the cost 25% to $30. Now, that's for those that have sent their registration fee in already. If you look at the registration form, it said after May 15th, the registration will be $40. So if you have members that have not sent their registration fee in as of yet, send it in. In Florida, I get them everywhere within a few days. But the registration cost now is $40. If a SCV member shows up at the door at Trenton, it's $40. So if you have people that want to attend, please let them know it's going to be $40 to attend the state reunion for them, with no exceptions. Again, if you set your registration fee in a timely manner, you pay $30, a 25% reduction. Out of that $30, $15 of that will be your lunch. So now you're down to a fee of $15. Subtract the keychain. I'll hold that up there. You did that much better than me. That's in the bag. Every member will get that limited. You can call it limited edition because there won't be any more made. Division keychain. The few that we have on hand that are left, because the union is attended higher than what we thought it would be, but everybody will get one that's in their registration bag. If we have extras, they'll be for sale for $10. So if you subtract the 10 from the 15, you're attending the state reunion for $5. I don't think there's a division in the Sons of Confederate Veterans that has a $5 fee. That being said, people have to keep that in mind. If this state reunion is moved anywhere in the state, I am almost positive that you will not be attending a division for those kind of costs and getting stuff in a registration bag like you will be this year. In that registration bag that you get, it'll be the canvas bag. It's actually bags that we have left over from the 2020 reunion. It has the alligator logo with the battle flag in its teeth. Everybody will be getting a bag. Included in the bag will be the keychain, the program. These are the programs. Of course, this is mine. It's got notes written and my name on it. You'll get this. And also in there, you'll be having a black wristband. When you attend, we want you to put the black wristband on when you get it, your registration bag. That's how we will know who's paid and not paid to attend the reunion, and also for the lunches that are going to be served. If you lose your wristband, or if you're trying to get into the business meeting without a wristband, people will stop you and ask you where your wristband is. There are no party crashers and there are no free lunches at this reunion. Yeah, this thing's planned out pretty close money-wise, that, you know, we're going to run right across the finish line on an empty tank. So this reunion will pay for itself and the stuff you get. And it is not a moneymaker for the division. It is a business meeting to conduct business and to get our business done. That is what that reunion is going to be all about.
Victor asked for the menu for lunch.
Yeah, that's important. It's some barbecue.
Probably same
as last year. From the same place.
Oh, cool.
So I don't remember it being bad. In fact, I think it was
pretty good.
I think it was pretty good. Same barbecue place is doing it. If I'm not mistaken, I have to look at my notes. It's Bill's Barbecue, but it'll be the same thing. Our attendance for the reunion, we had a goal, I think, because it was a non-election year, of about 85 individuals, 85 compatriots, and we're just over 100 attending, members attending. And with the OCR there, we're probably, well, I know we're pushing about 140 between guests and the OCR, which is a lot for that building. We might be pretty tight inside. We know what we got going in. We ask everybody to understand that, like I said, this is a business meeting. This is about commitment, not comfort. And I'll bring that up again. This is not about comfort. This is about commitment to the organization. So everybody's in it together. For those that are attending or your camp's attending, I encourage you to get your whoever's going to be voting for your camp, make sure you get that organized. Every camp should send representation to the state reunion. If you don't send representation to the state reunion, it's beyond me why you belong to the organization. You know, your thoughts and concerns and ideas are important, from the smallest camp to the largest camp. And this is the place to bring them up before the membership. I'm not saying everybody's got a good idea, but everybody's idea is worth listening to. Membership will decide the direction they want to go. Again, this is what the reunion program looks like. Inside, from 8 to 10 is registration. 9 o'clock to 9:20, opening ceremonies and welcome. 9:20 to 9:30, we'll have a break. 9:30 to 11 will be the business section.
First one.
The first business section, which can only be attended by those who have paid the registration fee and a SCV member in good standing. Again, you paid your registration fee and you're a member in good standing. That business meeting will consist of opening remarks by myself, roll call of camps, standing rules by Parliamentary and Terry Beasley, commander's report, which will follow suit with the report that I sent to National. that's being printed in their report, division report, adjutant's report, which will be given by Rick, and treasurer's report and budget presentation by Mark Sizemore. 11 to 12, we're having a discussion and a vote on proposed amendments. Everybody in the division should have seen their proposed amendments. They were mailed to the addresses on file. Each member was mailed the amendments to their address on file within the division, and the amendments have been posted for some time on the division website.
And the show.
And they were in the blockade runner.
And on this show.
And on this show. So if you missed it, I don't know. You should have missed it. You would have got hit by one of those avenues that we use to present the amendments. 12 to 1:30, it'll be the what we call the award luncheon. At 1:30 to 3:30, the second business section, we'll have a presentation, Flags Across Florida update. That'll be given by Jethro Cotton. Graves Committee will present, which will be Kelly Crocker. Strategy and techniques for recruitment. That'll be Chris Bunn from the Kirby Smith camp. He'll go over the recruitment package that we've been using that successfully netted us, how many members? 30?
Yeah, this year.
30 new members this year.
Wow.
Then we'll have a presentation of Florida Division Awards and good of the order. I'll give the good of the order, and then we'll have a prayer, and then we will adjourn. Hopefully, the meeting will end on time at 3:30. After 3:30, the MOSB, that'll be Terry Beasley. We'll have the MOSB meeting, and I'm not sure how long that'll take. Also in the program, there's a list for the last call, individuals and members that we've lost this year. And we've tried to update this. There's actually a paper that's going to be put inside the program. We actually lost
Three
members since the program was published. There are advertisements in the program of people who bought advertisements just quickly, a couple of them there. And again, camps and such that advertised. Like I said, next year I encourage more camps to get involved with sections of the program. It helps pay for the program and it supports the reunion. Ancestor Memorial section, I think this is probably the most they've ever had for a program.
Wow.
Well, that's just that page.
Yeah, there's a bunch of pages.
There's a bunch.
Wow.
Pretty good stretch. And there's an annex section because
got more.
That's more that I continue to get. And also the back of it has a little thank you to the OCR on there for their support this year.
Cool.
And that's that. Also, this year at the to support this reunion, we're bringing in T-shirts and other items, division items, SCV items. There'll be a division table there with shirts and such. Depending on your size, it'll be what's available. But there's a lot of items there that you'll have an opportunity to purchase. The purchasing of the T-shirts and such all go to support the reunion. Anything else I missed there, Rick?
Not for the State reunion.
So I think we're good, Sean. Any questions there, Sean?
The only thing you didn't touch on was badges.
Badges.
Name badges.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my thoughts on the name badge. You're talking to the guy that did the 2020 reunion. Name badges were important in the 2020 reunion, not so important at a state reunion. I mean, here's the deal. You know, there'll be over 100 individuals in that room. Sean, you'll know most of those people by their first name and where they come from. Correct? Would you agree with that, Sean? Shake your head. Yeah, buddy. You good with that one? If you do not know an individual in that room who has a black wristband on, who is a current member of the SCV and is attending that reunion, maybe for the first time, then make it your job to introduce yourself and learn that guy's name. Okay. Yeah. So the identification of your compatriots is going to be that black wristband to know that he is a current member of the SCV. Again, if you do not know that individual, make it part of your duty to introduce yourself and make that individual welcomed at maybe at his first state reunion.
Yeah.
So introduce him with your name and learn his name.
Jack DuPont had a question.
Y'all do medals. What kind of medals? He's talking about a reunion medal?
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah, I mean, well, answer your question. This keychain is a novel idea. To me, it's better than most. Look at this keychain. This is better than most national reunion medals I've seen because they're getting to be the size of Buick hubcaps. You know, it's kind of ridiculous. No, only because, like I said, producing them, the medals is expensive, and you have to have quite a number of them to make it cost effective. And trust me, once you see the keychain fob, you will use that keychain fob a lot more than you would be wearing your medal. So I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with the choice of a key fob division instead of a medal.
Yeah,
he agrees. He says, I agree. You don't understand the medals. Yeah. I mean, really, medals, you wear them that day, and then you go put them in a drawer, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
This you'll put on your keychain, and you'll have it every day.
And Victor, you know, I don't know what the division medal was, but I'm sure unless they produce it themselves, I'm sure they lose their ass on that medal. And like I said, I'll put this keychain against their medal any day design. Once you see it, if you don't agree with me, I'll buy your medal. I'll buy your key fob back, Victor.
Wow. You heard that, Victor.
You know, let's think out of the box, people. You know, trust me, them medals, I see them guys wearing them. They're looking like Russian World War II generals wearing them things that drag the ground.
Well, as we're on this subject, and I know what I'm about to ask is big in the military world and our organization. What about...
Come on with it.
I'm laughing at Victor's comment.
Are you talking?
Challenge coins.
Challenge coins.
Challenge coins.
We could do that.
I mean, we could. I mean, we got to guarantee you have to sell them. You want to hustle coins for a couple of years? You know, it all depends. I mean, I'm not against it. I mean, it's a possibility. I just think that there has to be some functionability to those. I get it. You go to reunions and, you know, I see the point where I trade you my Florida challenge coin for your Alabama coin. I get that camaraderie there, but also in the hotels with the old guys sitting at tables trying to hawk them coins all day long because they got a bunch of them, you know, unless we got somebody who wants to you know, be a
Yeah.
Hoover salesman,
There's Victor.
you know.
Coins cannot be cost effective.
Yeah.
Now Jeffro wants a handkerchief.
A handkerchief would be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm
I
not
agree.
opposed to a bandana. You know, you're saying a bandana, right, Jethro? I'm not opposed to a bandana. I'm not even opposed. There was a pennant I wanted to do for the 2020 reunion, like you used to get the old time felt pennants. If I'd have had more time, I would have done one for the 2020. But yeah, I like the bandana idea actually. But you start putting stuff on a bandana. Now you kind of, okay, what are you going to do with the bandana? I'm going to wrap it around my head. You can blow your nose in it. What are you going to do? It would have to be designed correctly. I like the idea, but the design would have to be something that wouldn't be like you're wiping your face on an SCV logo or something. So, but I could see where that would be cool, and I would like that idea. The design would have to be incorporated in such a way where we wouldn't be, disrespecting any of our proprietary emblems. So, how you like that answer? Got anything else? Throw me a curveball, Sean. What else you got, buddy?
All righty.
Come on, baby. Pitch
All
me.
right. This is mainly for Rick. Rick, when should the adjutants be starting to send their reports in to you?
Well, good question. Now is a good time to start putting them together, because the information that is on those adjutant reports runs from June 1st to May 31st. So you only got a week or so before that your numbers could even possibly change, and they probably won't. So if anybody wants to start putting theirs together, and they can email it to me or send me, through the snail mail. I don't care. I just need one from every camp that shows what their membership is, their transfers are, how many new members, how many members you've lost. I'm going to be sending that form out. In fact, I will do it tomorrow to every camp adjutant and commander. I'll make sure that they have the form tomorrow.
Cool.
If not tonight before I go to bed, but tomorrow for sure.
All right.
Good
Sooner
question.
the better. And I actually, and I'll put this out there too, and everybody knows this, and the adjutants feel it more than anybody else. Dues, the collection of dues, 1209 is starting that now. Start looking at your dues. Let's get this stuff handled, get it out of the way. We burn so much effort and time in trying to get our dues in from camps on time. I wish it was an easier process. Last year, we made it across the line 100%, right?
Yeah.
We made it across, and probably one of the first times in a long time that we were 100% on time crossing the goal line. It would be so much better if we crossed that goal line so much earlier. So start addressing your membership for the dues now. They know it's coming every year. It's not like a surprise.
In fact, last year, Sean, you were asking about the adjutant report.
Yeah.
Once I get all 44, now 45, since we have a new camp, 45 reports in, I compile it to one report and it goes to national. Last year at the national reunion for the Army of Tennessee, Florida was the only division to have their stuff in.
Wow.
And that was called out by the division commander. I mean, the Army commander from the, talk about that we did good. So let's do that again this year so that we can keep showing our other divisions how to do it.
Yep. Yeah. We're doing it just like Jeffro said. My camp is doing it starting this Saturday ourselves.
Yeah, and it's
an easy form. The form takes you 10 minutes. I mean, it's not a hard form. It's just, I think it's 6 or 8 numbers is all it is. It's not.
Yeah, when I did it last year, it only took me like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's not complicated. Just do it, real quick. Yeah, I mean, you should have last year's somewhere around there. Mm-hmm. You got your start numbers right there.
Yep.
It's what's expected. You know, if you have an and I said this last year, if you got an adjutant that's not doing the business of the camp, you need to change that adjutant. If you can't change the people, change the people. Get somebody in there that wants to do the job. It's a requirement. It's what it's expected. You know, and we're not asking above and beyond the call of duty. We're call the minimum what is expected. It's your camp business, and it needs to be important to that individual that's in that position, and him held accountable for that responsibility. I mean, they've got it down to as simple as you can make it. Let's just take care of that, and let's get past this. We bog up in these dues every year, and I've heard all kinds of excuses, and you know, it doesn't matter why or who. Let's just get it done. Just get it done. You know, trust me. We manage a 200 plus camp, 230, whatever it is, and it is a massive responsibility and task to get all those dues in and get them over the finish line. I mean, we hit them up, newsletter, then the individual letter sent to them, and then calling them. You know, all that stuff's locking in to make all that happen so that we continue to hold the number of memberships that we have. It's a task. I wish it was simple. I wish I knew a secret formula to make it work. It just takes willingness and elbow grease and determination to make that happen. So, and we're depending on you to do that. So please make that happen.
And Victor, since it's your first time, if you have any questions, just give me a call. I'll take care of it. I'll help you. Any adjutant that's doing this, if you got a problem, call me. I'll walk you through it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the thing about our division. We're a brotherhood. We're here to help out each other.
Yeah.
All right, Calvin, I'm going to let you let it rip on National. That's coming up in July.
Okay. We would like to know, or maybe send me an email or send Rick an email. If you have individuals in your camp attending, we'd like to know who's attending, just to make sure that if these individuals have issues or need help once they get there, that you got Florida members there that are willing to assemble. Friday, we'll probably be wearing I'm pretty sure, 100% sure, Friday, we'll be wearing our Division Strong shirts. And Friday evening, it seems like we set a tradition last year. You know, the Florida Division will pick a restaurant that we will eat at. The reunion, I attended it in Hot Springs sometime in the past. It's a really good location. The hotel is right on the strip as far as restaurants, business activities. When we went to the reunion, whenever that was, you'd have to ask Chris. He would tell you the day, but it's been, 10 years maybe.
Yeah, he said it was 10.
We parked the car and never got back in it. There was just enough to do around there and enough to keep you busy. But we planned Friday night to attend some kind of place and eat together as a division. So we look forward to that. I've had questions about the amendments, proposals that were in your Confederate veteran. When I get inquiries like that at that level, it's about what your camp thinks. I encourage your camp to vent those amendments, see how they feel about them, and vote the wishes and direction that your camp wants you to go in. I don't think it's no secret. I think the only one we voted for was the changing of the time of the commander, right?
That was the only one we said, yeah.
As far as 1209, the only one that we voted for was to change the commander's where he could serve longer
where he could do a second consecutive term.
Second consecutive term. Our thoughts on that and reason why is that, that was changed in, I believe, Dallas and it was a rub against a commander trying to knock him out from serving another term, and it was held in Dallas, and it was held out west. And when you hold reunions east and west, I can tell you, because I've attended them, ones in Dallas and Arkansas, and I've attended them Richmond, South Carolina. You get different divisions showing up. The closer you get, the more people, of course, you get from around there. So they, Texas, you can draw a lot from the camp, so they had a lot of votes going. So to me, it was just kind of a rub against an individual commander-in-chief, in my personal opinion, because we're actually going back to how it used to be. So and we voted for that.
If it passes.
We're going to throw our delegate votes behind that one. That was the only one. But I encourage you, don't let us influence you. I'm just saying that as a point of reference. Vote as you want. Vote as your camp wants. Just make sure that whoever you send has, understands how you want to vote as a camp and represents you as a camp.
And that you have your delegate form. If you're going to be, you have to have that at national. We're not going to make you bring a delegate form to division, because we're small enough. We know who's supposed to be there and who's not. So
yeah,
we're fine with that. But at national, you've got to have that delegate.
Yeah.
And it's got the delegate form, and it's got to be signed by the camp commander and the camp adjutant.
Yeah.
For you to vote to be a delegate. Otherwise, and when you get there, that's the first thing you need to do is turn it in. And I'll tell you, I told Sean this story. Make sure you keep that form with you at all times, especially in the business. Whenever you're in any of those business sessions, at the 2020, I made the mistake of leaving it up in my room because I didn't think we were going to have a vote during this session. And lo and behold, we did. So I had to sprint across the hotel and get mine and get back there in time to vote. So make sure you keep it with you. It's a lot easier.
Yeah, and there's usually a line, so I would pay attention.
Yeah.
If you wait to the last minute, you'll be standing in a long line. So I would encourage you to get your delegate form in when you get there. So
Speaking of that, because it's been a while for me attending a national event during the business session, and I'm sure there's other people in the chats that are thinking this. How should they dress for the business session?
Good question.
Yeah, good question. I encourage you to dress in a semi-casual business attire. They frown on, if you
they frown on t-shirts and shorts and all that. I mean,
yeah.
Where's we would recommend wearing slacks and a polo at least.
Okay.
Minimum.
That would be minimum, and then up from there. But at least the one day that when we wear the division shirt, we'll wear slacks and that polo shirt
and a tie.
Mm-hmm.
But that's us.
But I don't.
Oh, you mean the polo shirt?
With
Oh,
the polo
yeah.
shirt,
Yeah,
we'll
on Friday we'll wear the polo shirt. So, but like I said, business attire. You represent your camp. You represent your division. You're not going to a family barbecue or a baseball game
Or the beach.
Or the beach.
So, like I said, dress accordingly. Like I said, there'll be, at reunions, you get the old timers there, and they'll look down on you because they expect suit and tie. In fact, that's come up a couple times about
they wanted to
sports
do a dress.
jacket and tie. They want to enforce a dress code.
The seersucker brigade will be there.
Yeah, the seersucker brigade will be there. They're usually from South Carolina Mafia. That's their freaking uniform.
One thing, if you carry a firearm, make sure that it is concealed.
Yeah.
We've had some incidences where people were carrying and it wasn't well concealed, and it created issues. So
good to know.
Make sure that if you are legally carrying, that it is properly concealed.
I'm not sure about it. You might want to check. We're going to do that caveat at the bottom. You need to check Arkansas.
Yeah, what their laws are.
What their laws are. I'm not sure that they reciprocate concealed weapon license from Florida in Arkansas.
Right.
I have no idea, and I'm not stating either or. You know, I mean, if you're asking my opinion, I'd say leave your gun outside the business session, but you know, it's up to you.
But not everybody will.
Not everybody will, but I encourage you. You need to go and look what the law is, and that's what the law is, and that's what you should follow. And we're not encouraging you to do anything.
No.
Other than if you got a pistol, you need
make sure it's hidden.
Yeah. Whether it's in your room.
Yeah. Hide it in there too, because
hide it in there too.
Well, good question. Good answer, Victor. If you're flying, make sure you check it in with your airline.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're not making any statement like that. That's all on you.
That's all. Yeah.
All that information is on you. You need to look at law. I encourage you to look at all the laws concerning weapons in another state of Arkansas.
Good answer, Keith. You can go on the Concealed Carry's website.
And Keith, if you look that up, let me know. Contact me and let me know how Arkansas feels about stuff like that. Keith can do that. In your leisure time, Keith.
Bobby, that's the website I was thinking of, the USCCA.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right, Kim.
Yeah, that's right. Any other questions, my friends?
Guys,
come on. You got anything else, Sean? Anybody out there?
We got 20 minutes.
We got 20 minutes.
Guys, we got Calvin and Rick on. Feel free to ask questions. I've seen a lot of you ask questions on the Division Facebook page, but this is live.
One thing we've been talking over again, you know how we did the recruitment heritage defense grant of last year, where people came up with ideas, submitted ideas, defining budgets, you know, willing to pay half, checking all the boxes. You know, executive board came up with, voted on what ideas we should finance. We're going to probably, you know, I'm sure after we get back from national reunion, we'll probably incorporate that program again and encourage camps to get involved. So look for that again,
guys.
This pretty successful last year, I think. A lot of people didn't get involved, and I heard a lot and got emails back and still get inquiries. Is that program still going? Well, no, the program isn't still going. There's a start and stop for submitting ideas. You know, there's certain rules and regulations to follow to be submitted. It'll be voted on. Like I said, it's how you define your project. It should be a cradle to grave project. So we'll probably do that again next year.
Yeah, this show is a result of it, guys.
This is one of the grants that we financed. This show right here last year.
Hey, David, good to see you. Hopefully, everything going good in the Tennessee division today.
Arkansas is.
Okay, we did Arkansas, we did national, division. Well, anything going on throughout the division, Calvin, or is it everything's kind of quiet?
We seem to be moving forward. I don't know of any issues cropping up. Like I said, if I encourage, you know, there's always going to be issues. You know, we're in the business of heritage defense, you know, Confederate heritage, spreading the word. I get that. So there's going to be issues all the time. You know, Jacksonville, for some of those are keeping up with, you know, the Soldiers Monument, which was downtown, which was used to be called Hemming Plaza because Hemming donated the Soldiers Monument, which was down in Hemming Park, Hemming Plaza. The mayor, his name is Mayor Curry. He couldn't get elected dog catcher right now. I don't think the Republicans are as fond of him. Nobody's fond of him. If you ever hear him run for anything, do not vote for this guy. We don't encourage you to vote. I know we're non-political, but that guy sucks. But he in the middle of the night, you know, we had fought for 2 years in defense of that Soldiers Monument downtown. in the middle of the night, he went and removed the statue at the top and the plaques off the marble pedestal and the shaft. It stayed there for a long time, the marble pedestal base. We're talking a pretty significant amount of material composed the base and the shaft. Stayed there. Last Saturday, I was notified in the morning. We had people watching, and that was removed at like 3 a.m. And put in the same laydown yard with the soldier and the plaques. The city council voted sometime back to return that monument to the Hemming family. According to what the city says, they're waiting for the state of Florida to release their ownership part of that monument, and then it will be returned to the Hemming family. And that's where we are with that monument. For those that are unfamiliar with the politics of Jacksonville, we just got a Democratic mayor, and she is not our friend. So the Women's Monument, which was in Confederate Park, which they changed the name Springfield Park, is probably in danger. The past mayor designated $500,000 to remove it. I don't even know if that's enough money to do that. But the city council in Jacksonville is a majority of Republicans. But in these political field we find ourselves in, just because the Republicans do not make them our friends. So I'm not sure how that's going to turn out. Probably not in our favor. So, and that should cover monuments in Jacksonville. I can say that, when they changed the name of that park from Springfield Park from Confederate Park to Springfield Park, I think that weekend we opened up Kirby Smith Confederate Park, and I was actually told the city council, you change the name of a park from Confederate Park to Springfield Park, a park where the majority of you members didn't know where it was at, nor had ever been there before. Yet you voted to change the name of it, and we just opened up a park where a battle flag flies 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, right beside Interstate I-295, Kirby Smith Confederate Park. So you took a park that nobody attended. We just opened one up where thousands upon thousands drive past it every day. And so we maintain that park. We're lucky in that, we've never had an issue of any vandalism at that park. We have a security system, cameras monitoring it 24 hours a day, and got lasers run across it for intrusion. But we've never had any issues at that park. And it flies a type of battle flag or a type of Confederate flag.
We rotate it.
And we rotate it. We start with the Bonnie Blue, first national, second national, third national. And if any time that we have a police officer in the state of Florida who is killed in the line of duty, we will take the Confederate flag down and run the police memorial flag to half mast there. And that is our flag procedures for that park. And we also own Camp Mooney, which is Camp Mooney Confederate Cemetery. We gained possession of that from the UDC, a year ago, maybe?
A little more, but yeah.
A little over a year. And we're just starting there with restoration and plans for that cemetery. Like I said, we own it. There are Confederates that are buried there, that were buried there during the war, from the battle, the skirmish at Cedar Creek. And of course, there's several Confederate veterans buried there, and World War II veterans, Spanish American War veterans. But we're just started there with ideas, and that's one of our bigger projects on our list.
Cool.
And that covers Jacksonville, 1209, what we're doing. But if anybody has any questions, please let us know there.
Yeah. Ask away, guys. Now, guys, keep in mind Friday night of the division reunion, Jeffro is putting a get together at the motel. Jeffro, what town is that we're staying in? Yeah, Chiefland. At the motel in Chiefland, Jeffro is trying to get a get together for all the division members to come and hang out with us. If you have a kilt, bring it. If not, no big deal. Come and have fun, hang out.
Quality
Okay.
Inn. There you go.
Thanks, Jeffro. I couldn't remember the motel's name. Yeah, yes, Jim. That might be afterwards. But Jeffro did want to put this out, guys. If you have old, tethered, weathered battle flags, bring them to reunion. That way,
Kirby Smith is collecting those, and we'll have a ceremony in Kirby Smith Confederate Park and respectfully retire those flags, whatever flags they may be. If they're Confederate flags or U.S. flags that you have, we will honorably retire those flags in a respectful ceremony. We did it last year. I don't know how many we went through. It was quite a lot. There's actually a fire pit there made that worked out well for the retirement ceremony. And we actually had an individual a mason who recited, the ceremony that the Masons use, I believe, and it was his father's deal, and he passed it on down to his son. Now his son was retiring flags. So it's a serious, somber ceremony. Of course, anybody in the area is more than welcome to attend, but we will retire those flags in a respectful manner. So give us your flags, and we'll take care of them for you.
Good question, Jimbo. Calvin, it's mainly towards you from Jim Odell. Can you see it?
Calvin, are we doing the law enforcement or appreciation proclamation for June? It hasn't come up. Have we done it in the past, Jim? I mean, is this just something that we put out and we go, this is as an organization, we appreciate them? Is that what it is, or is this something sent to the state? I mean, actually, Jim, we, and I'm speaking for 1209, but I guess I can speak for the division. We, we have a lot of retired police officers in our organization, especially in our camp and all over the state. And we appreciate them at every meeting. And in fact, at sometimes Kim says a special prayer for them at some of our meetings. So we don't just pick a special month to appreciate the sacrifices of our law enforcement. We take an opportunity to think every day that we have individuals willing to do that job. Correct. So if that's your question, we do it every day. You want something official? Show me what you got. Send me something. We'll look at it. I mean, it's just something we're going to post and say we appreciate them. That's good. But like I said, I encourage you every day to be thankful you have those individuals willing to do that job. And if you see them out there, thank them for doing that job.
Oh, okay, Jim.
I'll ask.
Yeah,
Jim.
I think headquarters does it.
Yeah.
National does do it.
Yeah, national. Of course, they produce something on their media networks and stuff like that. They do quite a few of that, of recognizing months for, special recognition.
Yeah.
Seems like they're in the business of that at times.
All right.
Good question. You got anything else, Sean? Throw me a fastball, buddy. Come on. You ain't get me many times.
I haven't got you yet. I haven't stumped you yet.
And David King, if you're watching, if I can do this, so can you, brother. Just saying. Just
Yeah,
saying.
David, you are the captain from Metcalf.
Yeah. Let's not dwell on it too long, Sean. Let's not piss him off. Let's just mention that as a small caveat there. My brother, Mr. King.
And it's not Don King, it's David King.
Well, so see how you gonna now you're gonna mess up. Just gotta get a little bit in there, sweeten the pie a little bit.
Yeah.
Put a little sugar out there, Sean. Now you
Oh.
sour. Now you souring the deal. You shit on the deal. It ain't gonna work, buddy.
I'll be talking to him here in a couple of days.
Yeah.
That's good to know, Bobby. Bobby's with the St. Pete camp, which
Good
I
deal.
just I was just at their event. They're at, damn it, I know it's a park, Bobby, and their camp picnic, and it was a good time catching up with Bobby and all those guys and girls down there.
Shot swinging the puzzle.
Yeah. That's right.
Possum. Well, I do got some of the cage out back that might be dinner tomorrow night. You want to come over? We'll have some possum stew.
We're running right to the limit now. You got about 4 more minutes to make a dip. 3, according to my watch.
Alrighty, guys. We got Calvin right here. He has a chance. Ask him questions.
Wait, Calvin's cross that off.
Oh, okay. Maybe I can talk about Hunley medals. Let me talk about Hunley medals. There was a time where I thought these things would, last year because of issues with schools and stuff, I thought maybe that program was kind of drying up. There wasn't a lot of encouraging words coming from the Hunley arena. Even, where we normally give quite a few away, we had reduced ourselves, probably to half of what we normally give away. And we do give a significant number. In fact, we give number, and I'll talk about that, to any ROTC requesting that medal in the state of Florida, because I can't find sponsors that are willing to pay for the medal or go give the medal out, which is sad. Now this year I probably sent out 60 medals. In fact, at the end, I had the medal supply chain had kind of dried up and become an issue that I couldn't get the medals. And I actually had to buy them or get them from the Alabama division to make up the numbers that I needed to send out in Florida, which was over 60 medals. We sent out over 60 medals. And we owe the Alabama division for 15 medals as it stands right now. I'd like to write them a check and make them go away, but I think they want me to get medals and send them to them, which I'm going to do. We'll pay our debt to the Alabama division. That being said, the Hunley program is still alive and doing well. I did have to send several medals to locations in Florida because I had no one wanted to sponsor a Hunley medal. You can sponsor a Hunley medal for $30. I don't want to go in the medal business of just mailing medals out where it doesn't mean anything. I want that medal to mean something, and it means something when a camp member individual goes to their ROTC presentation and presents that medal. In fact, I hear these guys come back from that. The members that do that come back with, the ROTC programs that, that we think that, that our next generation might be lost. The generations coming up but they come back from these ROTC programs and ceremonies saying that there is a generation coming up that believes in service, honor, and duty. That being said, we do need people who are willing to step up and give these and sponsor these Hundley medals, because if it gets to the point where, that I'm having to just mail out medals, that will become an issue, because it's going to be a budget, something that I'll have to put into the budget. And now, I'll have to resolve that issue. Like I said, I just wish every camp would sponsor a medal. We have an individual that's a captain, retired U.S. Navy. He puts on his full dress uniform and goes to those ROTC ceremonies and delivers that medal. And he lives for that, to do that. And we appreciate him for that task that he undertakes for Kirby Smith. I realize that, I get pushed back going, well, it don't mean nothing, that we don't get anything bang for the buck, and I see it on both sides, but I'm willing to say that, and I've given these medals out, and when those high school, and I was in ROTC, and these medals do mean something to them. When you present that medal to them, you never know what how a difference that'll make. Whether, somebody in the crowd sees the Sons of Confederate Veterans presenting that medal and they'll remember us from that presentation, or that individual cadet receiving that medal is a future Sons of Confederate Veteran member, or he will do something in the future that will make a difference in the beliefs and what we're stand for in his future. So you never know. So giving out one medal or sponsoring one medal by one camp, $30 is not going to hurt you, and it might make a difference one day,
Bobby Van Zandt, what's some of the criteria for the Hundley?
To give out the medal, sponsor a medal. The high school picks the student. You just make the medal available to them. If you Google SCV Hundley medal, you'll get the handbook. It should tell you what the medal represents for the Sons of Confederate Veteran, but the choice of who the medal goes to is entirely the ROTC instructor's choice. We have no influence on that. The calls I got, usually the instructor puts a cadet in charge of emailing past organizations that have provided a medal, and I'll get a kind of a roughed out email from a ROTC cadet requesting a medal for their ceremony. And, I'll have the high school and such, and because it's not if it's in our area, if it's in Jacksonville or surrounding, we'll go there and give it out. It'll be a one-on-one thing. But if it's in middle Florida or somewhere that I don't have a camp, and I reach out to them and I don't hear from them, I don't keep knocking on that door. I just send the medal to the school, and they present it to the cadet.
Well, I can only speak for myself. If you get anything in Collier County, send it to me.
Well, it might not be in Carter County. I need guys. I need camps to go, okay, we're not sponsoring any medal, nobody, but this other high school wants this medal, and we're willing to sponsor it. I know if it's some distance from you, I don't expect you to drive 3 hours to go to, or a couple hours, whatever, to present the medal. But if you want to sponsor a medal, I think the last one, off the top of my head, there were two of them. I think one of them was in the Orlando area somewhere, which Orlando is pretty big, I know, but it was in the Orlando area. If I send an email to a camp asking them to sponsor, I'm not begging nobody to do nothing. I can do it without them. If they don't want to get involved, fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'll ask them, but I'm not begging anybody to do anything. I'm not doing that. So we'll just take that. We took that responsibility on as 1209 as the coordinator for these medals, and we send them to them. It comes out of our budget. But that's the accountability of being the Florida coordinator of that program. I knew that going in. We will not, any school requesting one, there will not be any school in Florida that requests one that not get one. You know, we got too many schools that won't present them. If a school's asking for them, we got to provide. You know, we got to provide.
All right, guys. A lot of good questions. Keep them coming.
Awesome, Jim. Awesome. Thumbs up, bud.
Yep.
I guess, I don't know what awesome for you, Sean, awesome for me. Is that awesome for Rick? You have to define your awesome sometimes, Jim.
It's probably for all of us.
Is it? We're sharing that one?
Yeah.
Okay. Break me off a piece of that awesome.
All right, guys. Come on. We got Calvin. We got Rick here. Ask questions. You know, because next week we got another awesome guest coming on.
Mm-hmm.
We have our councilman, Carl Jones, for the Army of Tennessee coming on next Tuesday.
No. Jim, to answer your question, our Hunley will be in our warehouse. We're in state reunion mode right now. We're not in event mode.
Awesome was for you.
Oh, thank you, Jim. Thank you, Jim. You're a pretty man too, Jim.
Oh, yeah. All right. Remember, guys, not only we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube. So you can share these episodes with your camp. When you're doing a camp email, send an episode out. Get more people joining the chat, watching the show. Because this show, like I said, the last show we did has helped out 4 people that relocated in Florida find camps.
That's right. One of the other things that we can tout, I'll read this to you. Our membership's growing. Of course, we got a new camp that just charted, the Ponce de Leon camp. The national website notification system is functioning very successfully. What I'm doing is telling you that when we have inquiries from Florida that goes to national sending them to myself and Rick, we get pinged. Potential members are contacted within 12 hours or less. Usually, once we receive it, most of the time, they never go to 12 hours. I'd say within the next 3, they'll get an email. And we've got the system fine-tuned. They'll get the email, trying to answer as many questions as they have about the SCV, also inquiring whether they know about their ancestor. If they don't know about their ancestor, we handle that too. The Florida division has its own system, and that when they have inquiries to the Florida division website, they're forwarded to myself and Rick, and we address those in the same amount of time. If they have a need to find their Confederate ancestor, we do that too. We're saying that 20% of those who request membership information become members. We're very successful in getting Florida residents to that make inquiries to us to get the fish in the boat, in other words, what we call it. But we try to address their questions as quick as possible, get the answers they want, and make them understand how important the Florida division is in the Sons of Confederate Veterans. We also this year we were very successful in getting Florida residents who were in the National 584 camp, which is a holding camp at National. It would seem in the past, before we got in this, that if they had an inquiry at National about joining the Sons of Confederate Veterans, they would just join them up. Didn't matter whether they were in Florida, wherever they were. National would join them up, put them in the 584 camp. They'd get the magazine. We actually talked to some 584 members in an email. They didn't even realize they could be in the Florida division because it wasn't explained to them when they joined the Sons of Confederate Veterans. We made a strong effort to get those in the 584 camp, National camp, transferred and get them back in the Florida division. It's been successful. A lot of good feedback with that. If you're in a 584 camp at National, you don't have voting rights. You don't represent anything. In fact, it's kind of talking to the other divisions. This is the place they put people when they're trying to decide whether they're going to kick them out or keep them or can't get along within a division. It's kind of just a holding pen for individuals that are having issues with it, appeared to me. That's in my opinion. This year we made pretty great efforts to clean up the Florida roster and the National Florida roster. That means we made sure the members on the Florida division roster match what's in the National Florida division roster. There was quite a few discrepancies there. There was some misunderstanding amongst the membership about lifetime memberships, and I believe we got all that straightened out and we cleaned that roster up. It's just how we need to conduct our business so that the division will perform in a business-like manner. Okay, Sean, got a little info there, buddy.
Victor, let me answer Victor's question. He wants to know how much does each member have to pay to the division for dues? $15. Division dues is $15. National is $35. Division is $15, and then your camp is whatever your camp is.
Yep. Good to know, Dylan. Leon wants you all to know he wants to sponsor 3 Hunleys.
Okay. That's good.
Thank you.
I suggest, school, we're at the end of the school year. Most of the ROTC ceremonies have already happened. When you see the buses next year moving around in your city, let you know school's in, I would go ahead and order those 3 medals. We're going to restock our medals because I'm gonna have to buy. I usually keep a surplus on. We'll buy probably another 50, and when they're gone, I'll order some more. I'm usually pretty good about it. This is the first year we had issues with a supply chain problem. Hopefully, they've got it straight. They promised me they would straighten it out. So, but I'm saying get your orders in. If you think you're going to give out 3 medals, go ahead and buy your 3 medals. I got some camps that give out, like we give out, 10, 15. I make sure we get 10 or 15 that we keep just for that. If I know that year's coming, I stock them up.
Dylan wants to know, do you want them to send you the money for the 3 medals to pay for the sponsorship?
Yeah, that's what you would do. You would send me the $30 per medal, and I would send you 3 medals. I don't have medals in stock as of yet because they owe me 15 of them. I'm going to go to National. And when we get back from National, I'll make a statement and we'll go ahead and order our 50. And when we do, that's when I'll put out the word that people need to go ahead and start getting their medals. So don't send me money now because I don't like keeping money without having the product here. And I don't have those medals here, but when we get back from National, I'll get a stock of them here. We'll catch back up. According to what they say, they promised me that anyhow. But Hopefully they'll come.
They don't
through.
have schools that do it there, but they would sponsor so that other people.
Okay, that would be great. That's when I get the email from a school that's requesting one. I can forward the email to you, and you can send in the medal and put a little thank you note in there, and that they'll usually send you a picture of the cadet with the medal, so you can put in your newsletter or get it printed in the Confederate Veteran.
Cool.
Also, a special note in the Confederate Veteran, there'll be an article I wrote in there about Kirby Smith and Alexander Darnes. I don't know if it's going to be published in this coming magazine or the one after. It might even be in this coming magazine. So I have a published article in the Confederate Veteran coming out.
Wow. All right, guys. Great show tonight.
Great show. Good show.
Super show.
Super show.
Super. Let's go with that. Got it. Well, we've been going at this for an hour and 15 minutes. Does anybody have any more questions for Calvin and Rick? Get them in now. Because once we get into reunion mode,
Yeah.
you may not be able to see, you may not be able to get a chance to talk with Rick and Calvin.
Yeah, at the state reunion, we're going to be quite busy organizing that, so it won't be a good time to discuss anything other than the amendments, and that'll be in the business meeting itself.
Yep. Kim, I'll be working with you on getting you on the show to introduce yourself to everybody.
And Kim is he's the division chaplain, and he does a great job. He does a great job. We're lucky to have that guy in our camp and as our division chaplain.
Yes.
Thanks, Bobby.
We're going to have an event one time, and I told Kim to pray that we don't have rain. Ask for the Lord above not to provide rain, and the Lord did not rain on that day. So I have no doubt that Kim put a good word in for
Kim's
us.
got a direct line.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly, Jeffro. Great. Exactly. Fun and super duper awesome show tonight. Remember, share this episode with your camps. That way it helps me grow the audience, and this way they can hear stuff that they may not hear other than a division reunion, straight from the horse's mouth.
Well, that's one end.
Yeah, that's one end, John.
Thank you, Jim. All right, guys. Let's end it with one of the, if no more questions, let's call it a night.
Good job, Sean. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All righty. Let's end it with this video.
You're still on.
We're still on.
Yep, you're still live.
Still.
When my mother was in college, she danced with Confederate veterans. To me, it wasn't that far away. You know, my father knew this. My mother knew this. Almost 50 years ago, I joined the Sons of Confederate Veterans. In those days, we weren't concerned about saving monuments or any of those things. That wasn't necessary. In fact, none of us had any remote idea that it would ever come up, or we would have done something then. We can't just sit there and react. We have to be proactive.
The Sons of Confederate Veterans is the direct heir of the United Confederate Veterans and the oldest hereditary organization for male descendants of Confederate soldiers. Organized at Richmond, Virginia in 1896, the SCV continues to serve as a historical, patriotic, and non-political organization dedicated to ensuring that a true history of the 1861 to 1865 period is preserved. Membership in the SCV is open to all male descendants of any veteran who served honorably in the Confederate Armed Forces.
It is my birthright. My ancestors fought and bled and died. Because of their sacrifice, it gives me not only the eligibility to join, but it's my duty to join the organization. Their blood flows through my veins. Their struggles and triumphs are what made my family what it was, and in a sense made me who I am today. We're to defend the Confederate soldier's good name, that he fought for a noble cause, that he fought for his home, his wife, his children, and his descendants. We're to guard his history, which to me, it's the monuments, it's the headstones, as well as the actual written history of what happened during that war.
The citizen soldiers who fought for the Confederacy personified the best qualities of America. The preservation of liberty and freedom was the motivating factor in the South's decision to fight the Second American Revolution. The tenacity with which the Confederate soldiers fought underscored their belief in the rights guaranteed by the Constitution. These attributes are the underpinning of our democratic society and represent the foundation on which this nation was built. Today, the Sons of Confederate Veterans is preserving the history and legacy of these heroes, so future generations can understand the motives that gave life to the Southern cause.
We need to draw the line in the sand right now. These are our Confederate monuments. These are our Southern heroes, and you're not going to take them down. Right now, if we do not protect our heritage and present it as it truly was, it's going to be lost forever.
The memory and reputation of the Confederate soldier, as well as the motives for his suffering and sacrifice, are being purposely distorted in an attempt to alter history. And unless the descendants of Southern soldiers resist those efforts, a unique part of our nation's cultural heritage will cease to exist.
My commitment to the SCV is a commitment to our heritage, our cause. Not in a violent way, nor an aggressive way. Simply in the way we live. Live what you believe. But in your defense, know in what you're defending. And defend it truthfully.
If you were interested in perpetuating the ideals that motivated your Confederate ancestor, the SCV needs you. Simply visit www.scv.org today. Our genealogists are ready to help you trace your Confederate heritage.
We're not just some history club. We are a fraternal organization who is essentially the last guardians whose duty it is to defend American and Southern history.
Thank you all for joining tonight. Stay Southern and keep cool. It's hot out.
Thumbs up.
See ya.